Welcome back to the Joint FDNY Podcast. My name is Captain Randy Li, and today I'm joined with
Lieutenant Chante McDonald,
Lieutenant Cruz,
Chief Michael Fields.
Sir. We're here today because the filing period is open for EMS. It ends at the end of November, so we're here to answer the question, why is it important to file?
it's important to file because you need to get out there. You need to be there for your community. Work for the best fire department in the world. Like, just, make this happen. This is a great opportunity for anyone who's out there. Like, anyone who just don't know which way you want to go in your career right now. This is an opportunity to grow, and it's an amazing job with good benefits, and you'll be great.
So, Lieutenant Cruz, what do we want to say to the people that are holding off? They haven't applied yet.
apply, let's get it. You need insurance, you need stability, you need to have a pension. It's never too late to start your 401k. We could all do this. We could get it done because you don't when you haven't started your career, you don't think about your future. You don't think about how you're gonna retire, and you don't want to get old and not have your retirement plan because you don't want to be working when you're 70 years old.
And not only that, just to point off of that, like, this job is 25 and out. If you start at 20 years old, you still have enough time to start another career if you wanted to. So if you start now, like, this is a great opportunity for you. Like, it's a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
And Chief Fields, for those who don't completely know what the job is, can you sum it up as in one paragraph? What is this job? What is it to be an EMT?
To be an EMT, you are an emergency medical technician. You are the pre-hospital superheroes that's out there catering to individuals that's having medical emergencies, that are going through traumatic emergencies and psychological emergencies before they make it to the emergency room. You are doing assessments of patients, and you are providing the best patient care in the entire city, right?
And you've heard it here, guys. So if you want to apply, just know that there are two types of filing you can do. You can do one, if you're already an EMT, you can do one as EMS trainee, meaning you have no experience in EMS whatsoever, so you can apply. If you want to apply, you can call recruitment at 718-999-3369. They're open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Apply now.
Wow, you know what? Chief Fields, Lieutenant Cruz, and Lieutenant McDonald, you can see the passion they always bring to work and the authoritative manner they have.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
And you heard it from them and myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's all right.
The filing is open right now. So if you want to be an EMT, you want to join EMS, you want to join the FDNY, filing is open now until the end of November. You have to apply right now. You can't wait. You really can't.
No, and it's an incredible opportunity, incredible career. Like they were mentioning, 25 and out, and you could even start your own business, or you could just retire and go on to start traveling.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's get on with the show.
So I heard you had a couple of impressive interviews that I missed.
You're right. I had a great interview with Firefighter Pablo Mota Nunez from the Hispanic Society.
Okay.
We spoke about how the affinity group, especially the Hispanic Society, helped him through the process and what they do for the community and for all the mentorship programs and all those kind of things, and how they help probies kind of get to where they want to be in this job.
You know what? I love it. And when they get on the job and they go to these Hispanic Society dinner dances, they're
Super
never
fun.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Right.
All right. So you know what? Let's see what he has to say.
So Pablo, give me a rundown. Where are you from and how did you end up on this job?
So I'm originally from the Dominican Republic, born and raised. I came here when I was 11, 12 years old, more or less. I ended up in this job because one of my best friends actually told me about it. We went to paramedic school together years earlier, and then around 2016, 2017, whenever the test came out, he reached out to me. He was like, dude, you should take the firefighter test. That's how I ended up here.
And so would you say that your friend is the one that inspired you to join FDNY?
Somewhat in many ways. I mean, well, he told me about it.
Yeah.
He gave me some resources so that I could start getting educated, because frankly, when he told me about the whole job, like, I didn't know anything about firefighting. I don't come from a place where maybe they have firefighters now, but when I was growing up, they didn't have that. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't really part of my culture. But when he told me about it, I told him, I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about firefighting. And he was like, oh, dude, just learn. So he started talking to me about it, teaching me stuff, introducing me to people that gave me more insight about the job. I started reading some of the books. and that's how I started, really liking what I was seeing.
Yeah. And now you're here 3 years later.
Yeah, essentially.
It feels like a lot sometimes, right?
Sometimes, yeah. Time flies. That's what everybody says.
Yeah, it really does. It's interesting. So for our viewers or listeners who don't know, I originally met you as a medic student.
Yes.
Right. And yeah, your class was one of my earlier classes, and it's interesting to see like how far a lot of you've come. Now you're a firefighter. We have other guys who are out there as medics and whatnot. Some of them have promoted to officer status and everything. So it's good to see that you've done well for yourself.
Yes. It's very interesting. I walked through the doors today and I see Captain Li. When I met you, you were a regular paramedic, and you were teaching us. It was great.
I don't know how regular I was back then, but yeah, I was a medic.
Yeah, you were a medic. It was awesome. Like I remember you told us, listen, if you guys ever want to take the promotional, like obviously you guys going from EMS to fire, like make sure you do insanity and train, run a lot. Like
that's right. Yeah,
it was crazy. Like I'm seeing you now, and I'm like, wow, like I can't believe that you're interviewing me.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
But my boy actually was in the same class as me, and you taught us.
Yeah.
And I'm here now.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And I understand that you're part of the Hispanic Society as well.
I am, yes.
And how were you introduced to them?
Well, I was introduced when I was in the academy. One of our instructors, Felix Manjares. Mm-hmm. He told us a little bit about it. He's like, towards when we're about to graduate, maybe like we had a few days left. He was like, hey, you guys, if you guys are interested, come down, check it out. At some point, they did come out and introduce themselves. All of the societies did. Our class was a little limited because we were the first full class after COVID.
Sure.
They did have a 150 member class, but we were the first full 300 plus members.
Right.
So they came, introduced themselves. It was very brief. We were all into the whole academy, so we didn't really, nobody really thinks anything of it. But towards the end, instructor Felix Manjares, he was like, oh, come down, if you guys are interested in checking it out.
Yeah.
So we went, me and a couple of the guys, we went and checked it out. And there were a bunch of cool dudes, They gave us some insight, gave us some tips on how to navigate the firehouse post-graduating Proby school.
And what is your current role? Are you a general member?
I'm just a general member, yes.
Cool. Okay. And so as a general member of the Hispanic Society, what do you get involved with and what do you do basically?
Well, the Hispanic Society, it's all about inclusion and all about teaching members and empowering them, helping them to get better, on the job. Also, expose them to different opportunities that the job may have. So as a general member, you get, they always put these events if you want to join up. They always put these events and you have the opportunity to show up and give back to the community. A few days ago, I was in the Lower East Side. I lived in the Lower East Side for 11 years, by the way. So I was in the Lower East Side doing a food drive with Goya. But it was put together by the Hispanic Society.
Cool.
So they, that's one opportunity that they enabled me to be a part of.
Right.
These are the kind of things they do, they'll do community events. They also do just generalized, they do a baseball game every year. They do their dinner dance, and a plethora of other stuff.
Yeah, I've gone to some of the Hispanic Society events, and I know that they're very big on their philanthropy.
Yes.
And I can imagine while you were in Proby school, while you were going through the academy, getting introduced to them, I'm sure they were a pretty good asset while you were brand new, trying to help you navigate and kind of showing you the ropes before you're out there, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You don't really join the Hispanic Society while you're in Proby school. You do it when you graduate. When
right.
You become a full-blown, a Proby school graduate, and now you're a Proby at the firehouse.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess to close it out, like you said, you weren't born here. You weren't exactly interested in being a firefighter, but now you're here.
Yes.
You've been doing this for 3 years. You could say that, you've done it for a little while. What would be the words of wisdom that you can give to somebody else who wants to come in, who may not be super interested or just starting their interest in the fire department or doing this line of service?
My words of wisdom would be, well, listen, take the test. Take every opportunity because, when I was when I was told to take this test, you know, I was a pre-health student. I wanted to go to med school. And what was told to me was, listen, take the test. You know, at the time it was like $65.
Sure.
And they're like, you don't know what you're going to be doing down the line when the test comes out. You don't know what you're going to be doing when they call you. So take the test. It doesn't really take much.
Right.
I think now it's cheaper. It's like $30.
Yeah.
And you know, at the time, if they call you and you got your life together, if you have what your dreams are, if you got them together, then you listen, proceed. You can always say no. If not, then it's a very, very good option to have in your back pocket that you can fall back in. And honestly, like, I followed that advice, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. It's the best job in the world.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't go for it, you don't expose yourself to the opportunity of doing this job, right? Either being firefighter, EMS, whatever it is.
Exactly. You know, I mean, when I went to paramedic school, it was the same thing. It was an advice. Somebody gave me a piece of advice, and I followed it. I was like, oh, then I ended up meeting you.
Yeah.
Became a medic, and then like the rest is sort of history. You know.
From your perspective as a member of the Hispanic Society, can you speak about the importance of recruiting in these communities specifically?
I feel like, at least from my personal experience, I think is huge because, you know, someone like me, you know, I would have never been able, I wouldn't have known about applying for this job had it not been because of, you know, my friend that I went to paramedic school with, you know, almost, what has it been, like 11, 12 years? He told me about this.
Right.
I had no idea. Like, I was just a regular college student. You know, I was out there. I was just like in the books. I had zero clue. He reached out to me one day. He said, dude, take this test. Had it not been because of him, I wouldn't have been here. So, you know, recruiting does exactly that. Yeah. It reaches out to kids that otherwise wouldn't have known about this. You know, like he technically, I wouldn't want to say he recruited me, but in many ways, or for the lack of a better term, he recruited me. You know, like the Hispanic Society is essentially doing the same thing for a lot of kids in our communities that don't know about these opportunities.
Right, who might not be exposed to it, sure.
Yeah, because, you know, like if you're a regular kid, you're going to high school, you turn 17, and you have no clue that, hey, listen, the filing period for the firefighter test is out. You will have no idea to apply for it. So that is what the society, from what I've seen, that's what they do. And it's amazing because now you're having a lot of kids that otherwise never thought about taking this firefighter career. They now thinking, hey, maybe this is something I can do too. I can be, you know, like, I can be a local, I can give back to my community. I can, you know, like, do something important that means something, you know?
So just like all the affinity organizations, you can see the backing and obviously the support, whether you have 10, 15, 20 years or just starting out like young Nunez.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. When you're new and whatnot, you want to find a home within a home, right? So you joined the FDNY, and then with the affinity groups that are there, and I know you're a part of affinity group too.
Yes.
So I know I'm part of the,
yep.
You're Vulcan, I'm Phoenix, and obviously Pablo was part of the Hispanic Society. And, you know, all the resources that we have in the fire department and all the affinity groups, it does make you feel like you have bigger support than you thought you would.
Yeah, it's definitely mentoring going on. And, you know, when you're new, everyone always asks you, you know, what questions do you have? I was like, I don't even know what questions I'm supposed to ask. And then with the fraternal organizations, they kind of like guide you, like, listen, this is how it is day one. This is how you should be thinking around day 5 or year 3 or 4.
For sure.
So it definitely helps.
Yeah, definitely. But to segue into that, in case you missed it.
Oh, that's right.
We got to speak to earlier generation. One of the valedictorians from our high school program, Miss Kailey Frank.
That's right. That's right. I actually did the ceremony for that. She's very impressed. I mean, all those graduates we could have given out awards all day. Yeah. But Kailey Frank definitely stood up and stood apart.
Yeah. We're going to have to call her boss one day, right?
Maybe. Maybe. All right. So you know what? Let's take a quick peek.
As I reflect on the journey that has brought me here, I'm reminded of the profound strength that it takes to rise above adversity and the incredible spirit that resilience defines. Growing up in an abusive family, life often felt like navigating a storm with no end in sight. The shadows of fear and uncertainty loomed large, threatening to dim the light of hope within me. Yet, in those darkest moments, I discovered a strength that I never knew I had. Each trial and tribulation became a stepping stone, guiding me towards a path of self-discovery and empowerment. In the face of hardship, I learned the invaluable lesson of resilience. I learned that adversity does not define us, but is rather our response to it that shapes who we become. I choose to channel my pain into purpose, to transform my struggles into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. It wasn't an easy journey, but it was one that forged within me an unyielding spirit and an unwavering determination to succeed. Education became my sanctuary, a place where I could escape the turmoil and find solace in knowledge. It provided me with a sense of normality, a glimpse into the world where my dreams could be realized and my aspirations could be pursued. My teachers and mentors became my guiding lights, offering support and encouragement when I needed it most. As we step into the next phase of our lives, let us carry forward the lessons that we have learned. Let us use our experiences to fuel our passions, to advocate for those who may not have a voice, and to inspire others who are facing their own challenges. We have the opportunity to be beacons of hope, to show that no matter how dark the night, the dawn of a new day is always within reach. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to those who stood beside me, who believed in me when I struggled to believe in myself. To my friends, mentors, and all who offered a kind word or a helping hand, thank you. Thank you for being my pillars of strength. Your support has been a lifeline, and I'm eternally grateful. In closing, I want to leave you with a quote from Maya Angelou. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Let us embrace our futures with the knowledge that we are stronger than our struggles, braver than our fears, and more resilient than we could ever imagine. Together, we can create a world where kindness, compassion, and understanding prevail. Congratulations to the class of 2024. May our journeys be filled with purpose, our hearts with courage, and our lives with boundless possibilities. Thank you.
Like I said before, Kailey's very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, all of them are, right? All the
Yeah.
people from the high school program, the YEMSA programs and all that, they really do work hard.
Yeah, you can see all the foundation that they're building, that they're going to be putting forward to a great career in the FDNY.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a testament to them as students who are working so hard or the faculty and the staff that are there too, but
You know how it is. I think it's a combination.
Probably
It's
is.
probably a full combination. Thank you for joining, and we'll see everyone next time.
take care.
See you soon, bud.